lockdown. For me, obviously I came back from Vegas and then I went to work and then they were like, hey, you were just traveling domestically. And I was like, yeah, I went to Vegas and whatnot. They're like, yeah, you have to take 14 days off from work. So I was like, well, fuck it, dude. I went and saw Chappelle. Dave Chappelle was performing in town. Huh. I was supposed to, and then while I was out in Vegas, I got to see 2 Chainz and shit like that. So I did a bunch of shows, hung out, got to see 2 Chainz, got to see Dave Chappelle. And then the weekend beforehand, I did a bunch of shows. I played at McGillicuddy's, which is this Irish outdoor patio bar here in Milwaukee. Huge crowd for the bar crawl. And then I went and played this spot over at Jackalope and had another great packed crowd, which after saying that now with COVID, I just realized I was like, not a good thing. But at the same time, like I thought like, if these were my last shows. Yeah. I was like, I'm real happy with it because they were amazing. I had great crowds. Everyone was a lot of fun. Was it kind of the same for you? Did you get to do a couple of shows before everything went into lockdown?
Honestly, it happened so quick. Like, what was going to happen was when I got back from Vegas, I was like, I'm going to, like, not do anything for a few weeks. Because I'd done, like, quite a bit up until then. It was like, I don't know, like the 3rd week was Vegas, and I had a week off. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I need a little bit of a break. January had been busy, so I was planning on taking a break anyway. Mm-hmm. And then, like, almost immediately when we got back, they were like, yep, everything's closed down. I'm like, well, I wasn't going to do anything anyway. So, I mean, it worked out for me. It really did. I didn't know it was going to be for fucking 1 year, but,
So are things slowly coming back into you being able to go out and tour?
Yeah, it's weird because, like, some places you don't even notice it. But even when it was bad, you remember, like, we would go to some gas stations in the middle of fucking nowhere. No one was wearing a mask. No one gave a shit. When it was in its day, and it's still like that now. But then you go somewhere and you get caught out and they're like, where's your mask? And you're like, oh, we're still doing that shit, you know? And it's weird, man.
It is weird because there's different rules everywhere where you go.
Everywhere you go, yeah.
Because obviously you guys are out in the burbs for these shows. But here in Milwaukee, like, I live in the downtown area, so everything's super strict. Where it was like for a while there, you had to wear a mask, you had to be seated at the bar, you had all these fucked up rules that you had to follow. But then you go out to the burbs, and it's just the Wild West. No one gives a shit.
People stare at you. If I go into a gas station to get a pack of cigarettes and I'm wearing a mask, the people out there are like, look at this fucking guy. What is he? Oh, big city over here with this mask.
Yeah, you know what exactly I mean? What it is. Like, I'll go out and I'll visit my so my parents live out in the burbs, and it's one of those that, like, I go to, like, I'll stop at the gas station because gas is always cheaper out in the burbs than it is downtown, and I always fill up when I'm out there. And, like, I walked into the gas station, nobody. No, I'm the only one wearing a mask.
Yeah, they don't care, dude. Yeah.
And they stare at you.
They do.
And they have the signs on the doors still that says must wear a mask.
And no one's
doing it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But yeah, it's the Wild West in certain places. And then, like, the closer you get to a metropolis or a bigger city, it's one of those where the rules get real strict then, and it gets real dicey.
Is it ever going away, you think, or what?
I don't know. You know what? Here's the thing. Where is the line that gets drawn? At what point do you just go, okay, enough of people have been vaccinated, enough people have had it.
Yeah.
We can kind of do away with this. And then even then, when you have the permission to not wear it, how many people are still just gonna be walking around with it? I mean, personally, this 8x10 100%. Cover a half of it. My hotness goes up if I'm just here up. I'm like, what's up, ladies? And with that big eye energy.
That's right. I'm socially conscious.
But I don't know. And like I said, it's goofy because everywhere you go, it's different rules. How is it in Austin?
Austin's real bad. So I was in San Antonio like about a month ago. Driving down, and I stop in Austin to get gas, and it was like how it was everywhere last year in the height of it. Mm-hmm. Everybody stood apart, nobody talking. Got to have a mask. I took my mask off at the gas pump, and people looked at me like I was fucking suicidal. Like, what is he doing? I'm like, there's nothing. Everyone's like, oh my God.
He's done it.
Fucking people from Dallas. Fucking homeless person. Filled up my car. But it was just crazy, man. And then an hour down the road, everything's back to normal.
Yeah.
You know,
it's insane, and
it's frustrating. It's very hard doing blow with a fucking mask on.
Because you gotta like cover like one part down. I got someone at one point had given me a mask where there's a straw hole sewn into it, and I was like, "What the fuck is a
defeat the purpose?"
Yeah. I was like, "There's a hole in this fucking mask." You know what? I'll give it to you. You can put it over your nose.
I get a kick out of in the Dallas area. I get a kick out of all the up and coming comics that I do open mics with or whatever. Like, man, can you believe that guy doesn't wear a fucking mask? Anyways, pass the blunt. Like,
We're doing a reel of blow in the bathroom together. $1 bill that's been shared by 9 people.
And you're fucking
worried about COVID?
Yeah.
So
that is the weird thing. Even moving forward, do you still share joints with people? Like, that's always
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We were in Colorado. This was our fucking attempt to be like safe with the COVID, and we're staying at his friend's house, and then it turns out his friend has it, so we're like, oh shit.
There were 3 people living in that house. All 3 of them tested positive the day we left.
Yeah.
I was like, well, sweet.
But one of them had it while we were there, right? So we were like, you guys stay in your room, motherfucker. You remember that?
Yeah.
And then we got bored, and we were like, man, I'm gonna really do some weed though, and he's the only guy that's got it. And we're like, hey, can we have some of that weed? And he passed us the pipe. And I was like, what have we...
Now go back to your room.
We fucking hit it. And then we're like, there you go. We'll be fine. We just smoked from his pipe.
You're like,
and we didn't get it. There's something to this cigarette thing. If you smoke, they say if you smoke cigarettes, you're less likely to get it, which is, the opposite of why I started smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to do it to be healthy, but there's something to that. I mean, we've had 2 experiences, 2 different households where they were all testing positive and we didn't get it.
We didn't get nothing, but we're comics, dude.
Yeah.
Our bodies are designed for this shit.
You got that iron immune system.
Dude, we've done so many fucking parties and put so much shit in our bodies. COVID? The fuck out of it.
COVID got in there and was just like, where
turn
the
around.
fuck? I went back out slow.
I am the vaccine, bitch.
It took its bat wings and flew right the fuck back out.
Will Smith in fucking I Am Legend.
That's your blood.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Where else was I going with this? We were talking about something right before this. Smoking weed. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So you were talking about how cigarettes you were like, cigarettes are supposed to help you not get COVID. So
There's some studies. Yeah.
So there was a study out of Canada that said, like, if you're smoking weed, like, it actually combats while it's in your system. So when I had it last summer, back in July, you met my girlfriend on Thursday. She was the one that gave it to me. Like, one of our first dates hanging out, she gives me fucking COVID. So, like, the next couple of days later, she's got that awkward phone call where she's like, hey, Parker, so you gotta go get tested. And I was like, tested? I was like, what'd you give me? And she's like, COVID. I was like,
oh, thank God.
Woo! So my bachelor days just fucking flashed right before me. I don't know about you guys. I like my sex life like I like my cookie dough. Raw.
And soft.
But yeah, I got scared, and then when I found out that we both had it, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna come pick you up. And I picked her up, and she came over with like 3 cases of White Claws in a duffel bag, and she was crushing White Claws the entire time, and I was eating edibles and crushing Dayquil. And we were up just like watching fights and shit like that. So it was absolutely it was a good time.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
And then
I want to get it just to be done with it. I just want to get it and be like,
probably
I've already had it.
Though.
Yeah.
Probably had. Look, man, we were smoking off a pen that the guy had, and
I tested though. After that happened, my brother came.
How'd you not get that? I mean, unless he didn't have it and they fucked it up.
Yeah, I'm close enough with my grandparents that when I got home, she was like, "You want to come over for dinner?" I was like, "No, I need to get tested."
Yeah.
I was just at a house with people that have it, and you're like 85,000 years old, so I don't want to give it to you.
Yeah.
You know. I tested and did not have it, and then I tested a solid 4 days after that.
How we avoided that is unbelievable.
You probably had it. You're probably asymptomatic and didn't even note it.
Maybe.
know
Didn't
it.
show up on the test, though, even if that's the case.
Did you test for your antibodies, or did you just
No,
test
I
to
did
see
the what is that called? Not the antibody test. I wish I did to see
nostril one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just they test to see if you have it at the time of the test.
Yeah.
I had that one, and I told the military guy, I'm like, yo, man, I got a bad reflex for this. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit on my hands, and it was just one of those. They just tickle the back of your fucking brain, and I was like, fucking
hurts.
shit suck. It didn't hurt. It's just really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'd put it up there with getting tested for chlamydia, where they put the fucking
Up
Q-tip.
your fucking...
Yeah, no bueno.
I've never had that.
Did you say the military guy?
Yeah, so there's a couple of tests that you could have done. So last summer, those tests were kind of hard to come by. So the best way to go about it was you went through the military. So they had a couple of areas in Milwaukee where you could go in and you literally just waited in line in your car, and then you'd pull up to a tent and a serviceman would come up and just swab the back of your nose.
It hits different when he's wearing camouflage raping your nose.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And then you're
It
like,
gets a little bit more conspiracy. Right, what the
and then after
fuck?
that, you're like, thank you for your service. But yeah, and then they called, and then they had the contact tracer. It was like, what have you been up to? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I've been drinking and smoking a lot of weed, so your guess is as good as mine.
right. Yeah.
I was like, I got it from my girls, so your best bet is talking to her first.
Can you get it like twice? Can you get it twice?
Yeah,
or-
people have because of there's mutations. That's why I say I feel like this is going to be the flu from now on. Every year, there's
Every
going
year
to
it's
be
gonna be it. Yeah.
a new vaccine.
Yeah.
Did you get your vaccine this year? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I never got the flu shot to begin with, but they did say the other day that, like, whether it's the Johnson & Johnson or whatever
yeah, that
vaccine,
caused the clots.
yeah, whatever one that you're taking, that they're going to say that you should get one every year as a booster to keep your immune system up from it. And I'm just like, yeah, all right. So COVID's here and the flu's completely gone. There's like 1,000 cases of the flu
what is that? It's
worldwide or throughout the U.S. Oh, shut the fuck up. Really, Scott? Shout out to Scott Cron. All right. We might have to cut this one a little short. All right. That reminds me. So you guys are performing tonight at the Hideaway again out in Oconomowoc. Is that Oconomowoc?
I don't even know how you say it, dude.
Yeah,
I can't imagine what about.
Oconomowoc. It's an Indian name.
Have you seen the fucking address for the place?
Oh, it's like, is it one of those north?
C948277658.
yeah, it's coordinates basically.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, when you get outside the city, my dad has the same one. He's out in Menominee Falls, and it's a north address and a west address, and they're just crazy. Yeah, that's whenever you get out to those way north suburbs, you go from address to coordinates.
You know, we put in when we came in November. You remember you put the address.
Yeah, we went to the wrong hideaway.
It was
It's a
literally a
popular
fucking
name.
house, dude. It was a house that said Hideaway, but like a speakeasy shit or something.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Probably an hour and a half away from
Yeah.
here.
Did you guys at least like go in and like have a beer? You're like,
No,
fuck it, we're
man.
already here.
I actually remember recommending that, but he was pissed off that I put it in the wrong one. I was like, I've never been here before. Fuck you.
Do you have beer? How
It was
about
like
drugs?
middle of fucking nowhere.
And we had driven from Colorado Springs. We did Colorado Springs right before that, like 5 shows there, and then we
Indiana.
drove fucking 12 hours from there, or whatever. And on the 12th hour, we get to this fucking place that
Yeah.
isn't the right place.
Hour and a half to go. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty gloomy, that one.
So was that recent? Oh, so that was back in November.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we were going to come back and do New Year's, and that fell through. And then we were going to come back in fucking
And the
February.
ice storm happened.
Yeah,
And the
you guys-
ice storm happened.
Yeah, we were trying to get you guys on.
Yeah.
Back in February.
It just kept going on and on and on and on. And then so eventually we got this one. This day's changed a few times, so I'm just fucking glad we got out here, you know?
Yeah. And now, is this going to be like a regular thing that you guys are coming out here now, or?
Probably. I mean, they do a lot of stuff at that bar.
Yeah.
So, you
Well,
know,
they book bands, they book DJs and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, and they
My
have like a
friends play out there.
hypnotist, and then they've had other comics there and stuff. So, I would assume they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah. During the summer, that place just prints money. It is just
It's fucking insane, isn't it?
the amount of people that come. And the thing is that it's a good sized venue, but at the same time, it's not huge.
Right.
But
Kind of intimate.
Yeah,
is a good word for it.
But there's a ton of, like,
Dude,
there'll be a
it's
couple
so
hundred.
busy.
Yeah.
So you'll have 30, 40, 50 people on the inside, but you'll have a couple hundred people outside hanging out on that patio,
Jeez.
drinking.
I want to come back during the summer, bro.
Oh, it's
the stories I've
mental.
heard.
I'll tell you what, come back during the summer just to hang out. Like,
Yeah.
take a room, crash out or crash on the couch, whatever you want to do. Come hang out for like a weekend on the summer when we'll go party out there.
The stories I've heard.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I'm down.
Crazy,
I'm down.
dude.
Did you guys meet the kid that rides that bike into the lake
No.
every night?
No.
The last time I was
Every
out there.
night.
So the last time I was out there,
It's his thing.
so Callie was kind of shopping around different places she wanted to work. She was looking at getting out of the place that she was working at, and she bartends. So Craig and Scott were like, well, bring her out. She knows the area and so on and so forth. We want to meet her. And so like we stuck around, had a couple of drinks. We're hanging out with Craig and Scott. And they're like, did you meet so-and-so? And I'm like, no. I'm like, what's up, man? Nice to meet you. And he's like, you want to see me ride my bike into the lake? And I was like,
Yep.
I was like, let's do this. I was like, hold on. Let me get a drink. Grabbed a drink. Sure shit, this dude is hammed up, strips down to his fucking underwear, rides the bike right into the lake
Wow.
for no good goddamn reason.
For just no reason.
And he was just like, and
I mean, I gotta say, I've done.
And that's it.
exactly-
that was it. And then
It's probably the same dude that sat in a fire for $5,000. You know what I mean?
I don't think Dano lives here anymore. By the way, the end of that, did we talk about that on here yet?
No.
No, we talked
No.
about that in the pre-interview.
Yeah.
So we should pull that video up. Here, let me.
Did
pull
you get it? Like,
I have the link on here. I'll pull it up. Randon, do you want me to adjust the camera at all so that this is facing towards the TV? Or do you want me to... I can't download... I don't have enough time to download this and send it over to you.
Probably throw it up on the... Oh, I see what you mean.
Do you have a good angle where you can see that, Randon?
God, this was after partying all fucking night.
So to set the stage for this,
I can finally pick my nose.
a bunch of years ago, Steve and I, we had you do one of the anniversary parties.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who we had performing. Was this when Steve-O was there, or was that like a separate
No,
event?
it wasn't Steve. It was someone else. It was someone big. You know, it was a big deal. It was like.
Was that when we had... Oh, wait. I think that's when we had Chuck Liddell, right?
It might have been. Yeah.
So I think it was Chuck Liddell, and then that was the night that like... So Matt Mira, who was a BMX rider and shit like that, did a bunch of ESPN sports, or those extreme sports. He's there, and he's partying with all of us and Chuck Liddell, and he doesn't want to leave. And he's like, yo, someone needs to talk to my wife and tell her that I'm going to make it to my flight. And I was like, all right, man. I was like, give me your phone. I was like, hey, Mrs. Mira, how's it going? I was like, this is Parker. And she's like, my husband needs to be on this flight at 7 a.m. He needs to come home. I was like, look, I've already assigned an assistant to handle it. We're going to put him in an SUV right at 6 a.m. We're going to get him to the airport. He's really close to it. I was like, we're going to get him out of here. By the way, Chuck Liddell and his girlfriend says hi. Everything will be handled. And she was just like, okay, what was your name again? I was like, all right, talk to you later. I turned around the mat. I was like, you ain't making that flight, bro. I was like, me, you, Chuck, we're going to finish this bottle of Jameson, and we're going to do some wild-ass shit. Speaking of wild-ass shit, so what we ended up doing is we got drunk, and we thought it would be hilarious if our good friend Dano would... What'd you need?
I was going to turn that to the thing.
Oh, Randon, go ahead. So we decided that we were like, hey, our good friend Dano... He's going to sit in this fire.
Well, the story, remember what? They wanted me to do the flaming arsehole. You remember the toilet thing that I did?
No.
The toilet paper thing. Have you not seen that?
No, I don't think I have.
The amazing shot where I set toilet paper on fire with my arse. You not seen that?
Oh, no. Okay. So, yeah, so you do the, like,
Yeah,
you roll
yeah.
it up into, like, a little rose and then...
No. There's like, it's on YouTube where you get a piece of toilet. It's called the, what is it called? The amazing shot on YouTube.
Okay.
And you get a piece of toilet paper, you make it the length of your leg, and you get a beer, you drop your pants, you put the top of it in between your butt cheeks, right? And then you set fire to it, and you got to drink the beer before it burns your ass. Right? Have you not seen that?
We've
Before we watch this, you got to watch that, man.
We've done tough man shots together, which, by the way, if you're unfamiliar with what a tough man shot is so what you do is you take a lime and you squirt it in your eye, and then you take a line of salt and you snort it. And the relief comes from when you do the shot of tequila.
Which at that point is fucking irrelevant.
Exactly. At that point, you're just
You
like,
gotta tell your tough man story. The shot that you did, somebody had you do a shot in front of a cop. The tough man.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I want you to like see if you can look up Steve Hurst, amazing shot. I can't believe you've not seen this.
no,
dude.
I've never seen this dude. All right,
Man,
Steve. Oh, IR. Oh, here you are.
yeah,
All right, let's
right at the top.
boom.
Yeah, well, check this shit out.
Brandon,
We are about to show you the English retard. Now, if you're on YouTube at this point, I'd like to point out to you, don't try this at home. You might
I am so drunk at this point after a show.
a bigger knockhead than I am at this point. Now, what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen,
Look how drunk I am.
did you say Rizzle?
I'm fucking hammered, dude.
You were drinking with Snoop, weren't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to put toilet paper on my boat. I'm going to set fire to it. And before it reaches my butthole, I'm going to drink a pint of beer. And then I finish the pint of beer before it gets to my butthole. Nathan Anderson is going to put the fire out. And the stunt will be successful.
Time out. Did he put, or you put it up your own butt?
Yeah, what? Yeah, what? What's this shit, dude?
My name is Steve Hurst. Fuck all you bitches to the fuck ferret. I'm about to burn my arse. 1, 2, 3. Come on, let's go.
Jesus Christ. I can smell the burnt hair. That flame was fucking huge, bro.
Dude, so after that, right, I didn't realize how badly burnt it was. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to go to hospital because I mean it was bad. So I take Nathan with me, and like this is just like this is what an idiot I am when I'm drunk. I'm like, Nathan, man, it's really bad. Look at it, dude. And he's like, I'm not looking. I'm like, just look, dude. It's fucked up. I'm not looking. I go, just look, and he looks, and I go, ha, you're gay. And he was like, and he goes, you're such an idiot, dude. So we get to the hospital, and I walk, and I'm fucking drunk, you know, and I walk in, and she's like, can I help you? I'm like, can you fix this? And there were like fucking kids in there and shit, and they're like, get him his own room. So I'm in this fucking room, and I'm lying on my belly with my butt hanging out, right? And this fucking doctor walks in, and he goes, so what happened? And I go, I put toilet paper up my butt and set fire to it. And he goes, you're an idiot, and just left, right? And just fucking walked out. Nobody came in to help me after that. So I fucking took my socks off and emptied the fucking shelves, like what was in there, like medicine and shit. Fucking, and off I fucking went, dude. Nobody came to fucking help me, dude. But I still have a scar on my arse that looks like fucking Italy. It was so bad, like it didn't heal for like 3 months.
Jesus.
So what we were about to get to, John said to me with this next video, John said, why don't you do the flaming arsehole shot, the amazing shot? And I was like, you're out of your fucking mind. I'm not doing that. I've already got scars from it. You know, I'm not doing that. And so then we got on to, well, let's get Dino to sit in the fucking fire.
Dano.
Dano.
All right, you guys ready for this? So to set this is Jade Simone St. Clair. This is Dano, the bartender, Josh, the midget, and I think the rest of the management staff.
That
and
was
owners.
that the porn star or something.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was the girl. I've done a bunch of stuff with her, with Playboy TV, with tour dates and shit like that.
She was cool as shit, dude.
She actually works now with Piff the Magic Dragon, the
Yeah.
comedian musician. They have their own show. Actually, I caught their show when I was out there right before I saw you. So the first night I was out there, I caught their show, hung out, and got to catch up with her, got to meet him. He's great.
She was really cool.
Yeah, and she's hilarious, too.
Yeah.
She writes a ton of material between the both of them. We're going to start this video. Dude, that thing was going all night, too. There you are.
Yeah, stood next to the midget.
Yeah. You look tall as hell.
Thanks, man.
I just want to know what your fucking neighbors are thinking right now. John, look, see. 5 seconds. 5 seconds, motherfucker. Don't get scared. I ain't got no insurance.
Famous last words.
He was serious when he said it as well.
Yeah.
All right, go. Go. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh my God. 1, 2, oh my God. 3, 4, 5.
That's a long 5 count.
Yeah, he didn't count that like real seconds. That was 8 seconds, to be honest.
That's Michael Cho over there.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude, he was in some fucking pain.
At first, he wasn't feeling anything, and then all of a sudden,
And
then, like once he started realizing that like his ass was blistering up, he was like, "Oh, I fucked up."
Yeah.
He had at the end of that, he had 2nd-degree burns, and we sent him home. We put together like a bag of ice to put down in his seat, and I think he drove himself to the hospital after we were all partying that morning.
Well, did we tell him what happened as well? In addition to that, with the midget,
Oh shit, dude, Matt. So Josh.
just when it couldn't get any worse.
I don't think we. So I'm kind of glad we didn't film this because it was one of those. It was completely.
Somebody did, there is a video of it somewhere, but I don't know who's got it.
Somebody, you know what? I can hit up the staff. Some of these guys don't work for us anymore, but I can hit up most of the staff and figure out. I know mostly everyone that was there that night. So the kicker of this, Steve, I'm gonna let you jump in on this story. Go ahead and.
All right, so his butt starts to blister, and one of them was like a really big blister, and I think it was John that came up with the idea. He said to the little person, I don't know why he picked him, but he goes, "I'll give you what was it, $700
$700
to bite the blister and suck the puss out." Oh. And I was like, "There's no fucking way." And the midget was like, "I'll do it, but I need a Sprite." And I was like, "There's no fucking way he's gonna dude." The blister was like that. I mean, it was like it was like fucking that, right? And it was getting bigger and bigger. And this midget went up and fucking chugged it and did the Sprite, and everybody was like, it was I was dry heaving for like 10 minutes. I was like, the midget was like, "Oh my God, that was fucking nasty." I'm like, "What did you expect, motherfucker? You just
be good.
drank puss out of someone's arse, dude." He probably hasn't even fucking showered either. He worked a whole shift. He's sweaty.
And he did it for $700.
$700 fucking dollars. Bit a blister this big and sucked the puss out and shot it with fucking Sprite.
Yeah, that's
what we used to do, though, innit?
Yeah.
Like when I used to come up with stupid shit like that.
And then nowadays we don't do that shit because we assumed it's probably gonna get us canceled for whatever the fuck we're doing.
And shit like that used to get me hired, though, innit?
Yeah.
Like
Fear
people
factor.
Yeah.
But that was one of the. And what I guess what people don't realize as well is we'd been fucking partying all night. That was 8 o'clock in the morning. We had us drinking and partying and shit.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I
it was
think
the next morning.
Yeah, so we set up that anniversary party, and whenever Jade's around, I always end up co-hosting whatever event she's doing, and then it's usually me DJing as well. So I played probably a 2-hour set, plus was hosting on the mic, talking to people, doing shit in front of the camera, and then we got done at bar time, and all of us went to Ferraro's house from like 2:30 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and that's probably 8, 9 in the morning
Yeah.
of us hanging out on like a November morning,
Yeah.
drinking outside. And then we kept going after this. So
Oh, yeah.
we convinced the little person to bite the blister off of Dano's ass like an hour or two later, where it was like, oh, look at the size of that blister. What's that worth to you?
Dude, I couldn't believe I was like, you nasty little fucker.
When he said,
Yeah.
wait, let me get I thought for sure he was going to ask for more money. When
Yeah.
he said Sprite, I was like, what the fuck is wrong?
I tell you,
have
man,
shit for fucking negotiation skills.
when I saw him do it, I couldn't fucking believe he was doing it. I'm like, this motherfucker must be so broke. For $700, you're going to suck puss.
It's to the point where the guy that offered the money is probably like, shit, I probably could have got him for 50.
Oh, yeah, John would have done it if he could have fucking done it. He'd have probably done it for 200 as well. But, yeah, that was the nastiest thing I ever fucking saw, man. I mean, I was really dry heaving. I was legitimately going, it was like 3 or 4 people were fucking throwing up. And,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
fucking midgets like, oh, my God, that was fucking horrible. Give me some Sprite. I'm like,
The girls that were hanging out, there was a couple of them that were throwing up in John's bushes.
yeah. Yeah. I can't fucking. And you know, it's crazy. Like, I tell him stories like this, and I'm sure people are like, what the fuck ever. But you were there. You
Yeah.
know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's true. It's fucking
Corroborate.
crazy, but it really happens.
So
Shit like
part
that.
of the reason I started the podcast was because of the fact that, like, there's stories like this that exist where I'm around for them and stuff like that. And you tell them normal people, and they're like, that didn't fucking happen.
They don't believe you.
Yeah. Like, I was telling completely unrelated topic. I was telling the story about how a bunch of us, it was bouncers and a couple other people, we were up at a strip club in like northern Wisconsin, and we had an issue with one of their bouncers, and we just went, fuck it. And we beat the shit out of the entire staff and left. And people were like, that didn't happen. And I go, no, it happened, and that story will eventually be covered on this fucking podcast. Or we turn around and we go, yeah, we paid a little person $700 to bite a blister off of a guy's ass who we had sit in a fire pit for $5,000. Yeah, all this stuff where you tell people these stories and they're like, did that really fucking happen? Or these are my common stories that I tell at parties and shit like that, and people are like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, and I try to, like, I feel like stuff like this for a period of time in my life was just normal.
Yeah.
Like, this is what everyone does at their parties. Like, of course you get someone to do some wild ass shit and stuff like that. And people are like, wait, you do what at parties? I was like, well, we drink till
shit.
10 in the morning.
Set people on fire.
Set
Do
people
you
on
know-
fire.
do you know what I did last time I was there? Last time Jokers was open. The last fucking weekend it was open. This was my idiot thing I did that week. Right?
Oh,
Which
no.
is not as bad as that. But I was like, you know, I was fucking drunk. And I go, hey, let's do like a shot, right? Where I'm gonna put 7 shot glasses out because there's 7 of us. 6 of them are gonna have Jägermeister, but one of them is gonna have Windex, right? And a little bit of Jaeger, but you can't tell, right? I'm like, do you guys want to do it? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. So I was like, all right. So I fucking make the shots, and like, you know, I don't know which one it is, and I mix them up, and I go, all right, just to show you that I'm not a fucking pussy, I go first. And I get a shot. Boom. I'm like, motherfucker, it was Windex. I was like, oh, my tongue's swelling out, man. It like kind of fucking scared me for like 5 minutes because my mouth was like weird and shit. And they were like, are you gonna be okay sipping that fucking Jaeger? I was like, fuck you. I know why you're sipping it. There's nothing in it. That was the first one. And like, it just, my mouth just went, I fucking couldn't speak right and shit. And I was like, I might die, man. Like,
Hold on, I'm gonna reach across for a second.
is it not?
I don't know if this makes a difference because it's a powered mic. There we go.
Okay.
I don't
Lights
think.
just came on it.
Oh, did it just go out? There we go. So I don't think it makes a difference because that mic is powered through the XLR. But just in case, I'm gonna make sure it's is plugged in. When I go back, I'll actually just double check and make sure the audio came through. If worse comes to worse, you're near that mic, I can just up your audio through that.
Cool.
I got real technical for no good goddamn reason.
That's good here, though.
Yeah.
You killed it out here, man.
But yeah, so
Dude, that's a perfect lead into the tough man shot that you did.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I learned the tough man shot at Joker's, if you remember. You remember that crazy bouncer, Rich?
No joke, he's in jail right now.
Is he really? Man, he's fucking cool as shit. And he goes, I got a shot for you. And I'm like, what? And I saw him do it. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I wish I hadn't seen that because now I'm going to do it.
We
You
used
know
to
what
do
I mean?
those
Like,
all the fucking
time.
for no, and it was just one of those that we would be out and we'd be like, let's do a tough man shot.
Yep.
Let's do a tough man shot. There was no rhyme, reason. It's not like girls were impressed by it.
No.
It's not like people were like, let me see you do it. We just pulled it out and people were like, what the fuck is wrong
No
with
one
you guys?
wanted to do it. People were just like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then,
man, go.
so once again,
Stupid.
you snort a line of salt, you crush a lime in your eye, and then you drink a shot of tequila. And then we upped it to the point where we started taking the lime and breaking it on the bridge of our nose, so it went into both eyes, because that was the even tougher version of doing it.
I've done both nostrils, both fucking eyes.
You can only go tough from here. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a fucking retarded shot. I was in Odessa, right? And the club was kind of ghetto. So they had these cops there, right? Gangster shit there. And so they had two cops in there. My friend, Rob Jenkins, a really good friend of mine, he owned the club. And I said to him, hey, let's do a fucking tough man shot on stage. He's like, oh, man, come on, dude. You don't want to fucking do that shit. I'm like, come on, man. There's like fucking 300 people here. I'll give you a shout out. And come on, dude. Like, fucking stop being a girl. And Rob's a little crazy. He's like, man, fuck it. I'll do it. But what I didn't tell him is I'd got a bunch of cocaine and I put it into a salt shaker, right? So it looked like salt was in it, right? And so I get it all set up, and I've got it, and there's two cops there, and I'm like, yeah, you know, it looks like blow, and they're like, yeah, fuck you. I'm like, so I fucking line it up, right? And Rob comes on stage in front of 300 people and two cops, right? And I go, I'll go first, fuck it, and I did it. I was like, it ain't that bad. And fucking Rob goes, he goes, that's fucking. I go, shut up. He goes, God damn, dude. And he looks at me. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Dude, we just snorted a line of blow in front of two cops. And they were fucking laughing. They're like, these motherfuckers are crazy.
That's fucking. Shut up.
His fucking face. Yeah, it was fucking great, man.
Oh.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
I can't breathe right after that.
It's fucking classic, dude. Everyone was like, man, that was so funny. I'm like, you don't even know half the fucking story, man.
Oh, shit, dude. So there was... Fuck, I've lost my fucking notes now. Holy shit, dude. Well, that kind of... How the hell do we follow that up?
I know, right?
So this other time.
Holy shit. I think the only other way we can probably top that is I can kind of lead into me getting banned from the Win for life. So when I was out in Vegas...
last time you were in Vegas?
Yeah. So the last
You're
time...
just so stupid. When you told me this, I was like, what the fuck do you expect?
I was like, well, honesty's the best. Listen, I was tripping my balls off, so I thought I should be honest. I was like, your golden aura around you tells me that you're probably very understanding. Not the case. So one of the nights that I'm out there, Steve is performing with Kid from Kid and Play. What's Kid's real name again? Chris. Got to meet him. He was great. By the way, I love the fact that dude sings like everything.
I know, right?
Wait, how'd you meet him anyway?
I when I first started doing comedy, I was a MC and I got a show with Billy D. Washington, 2-man show. And after that show, I'd only been doing comedy like 6 months. After that show, Billy comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, I'm doing this comedy house party tour with Kid Reed," and I didn't know who he was, right? And he goes, "We're looking for someone in the middle." He goes, "But we want something a little different." And he goes, "And you're English," and he goes, "Would you be interested in doing it?" Well, of course, I'm gonna fucking say yeah. You know, I'm like, absolutely. And he goes, "Well," he said, "this is what I'm gonna call him, and we'll set up a date, and then you come up there and you do, you know, like 20 minutes in the middle, and if you and Chris get along and it goes with the show, we'll take you on the fucking road." So I was like, all right. So the gig was in Columbia, Missouri, and as soon as I met Chris, we kind of just clicked. You know, like, he's just a fucking cool guy. So we did the shows, and the shows were fucking great. And after that, it was me, Kid, and Billy just fucking traveling around
Awesome. And that's been since the beginning of your career then?
That was 6 months into doing stand up. And then I did that for a few years. I can't remember how many, but like quite a time. And it was so much fucking fun because every show was sold out.
Yeah.
You know, and Kid and Billy were just so good and just good with me as well. You know, I like how they taught me a lot and they treated me well. And, you know, we were fucking crazy, man. You know, it was like, it wasn't even like we were working. It was just an excuse for us to get together and, you know, get fucking drunk. And
yeah,
we had some of the best fucking times. It was by far the best times I've ever had on the road. But I stayed in touch with Chris and we're still really good friends. Whenever he's in like Fort Worth or whatever, like he'll usually just come stay with me. You know, he can stay at a nice hotel. He stays at my fucking place, but you know, because we just go back like that.
Yeah.
And over that amount of years, you know, he's seen me go through fucking divorces, have kids, and I was in his wedding and shit. Like, it's like 20 years strong now. So, but he's a really good guy. Chris is a fucking great guy, man. And he's doing well again, which is fucking awesome. So, but yeah, he's a badass. He's a badass.
So now that we've kind of set this up, we're hanging out after one of your shows. And I finally turn around to you, and you're like, I was like, I have mushrooms. And you're like, why the fuck didn't you say that from the word go? So I hand some out to everyone, and we proceed to just kind of roam around the hotel and Fremont area. And I remember at one point, like it's raining out, and I'm staring up at the lights on that big screen on Fremont, and I'm watching like everything go by, and I'm like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I'm just like, completely just hitting like my peak as far as mushrooms go. At some point, these guys are all like, oh, we're going to take off. We're going to go to bed. And I was like, well, fuck. I was like, I'm still kind of like, I'm ready to go still. It's pretty early. I think you had a show the next day or something that you had going on. And I was like, all right. So I look up and I think it's like 2 a.m. And I was like, you know, most nightclubs are open till 4 a.m. So I look up and I see that Excess has Dylan Francis playing there. And I was like, well, fuck it. I'm like, I haven't seen Dylan Francis in forever. I'm going to go to this show. So I hop an Uber, get over there, so on and so forth. And I get up to the front door and I was like, hey, is there a cover? And they're like, yeah, $75. I was like, whatever, dude. I was like, I'm going to catch Dylan Francis. They're like, he's playing for like another hour and a half. I was like, I'll catch some good sets, shit, whatever. Yeah. They're like, we need you to empty out your pockets. And I was like, oh, excuse me for 1 second. I have to throw some shit out really quick. I have like receipts and whatever. And they're like, all right, cool. And he goes, wait, stop. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, what do you have in your hand? I was like, aspirin. He's like, can you open that please? Because it was in an aspirin bottle. And I was like, open it up. And he's like, where are these? I was like, multivitamins. He's like, oh, okay, take one. I was like, I've already had my supplements for the day, sir.
I might die.
I was like, no mas.
I tried to overdose on vitamin B.
So, and he's like, so what are they really? I was like, well, you have a good aura about you, because I was just kind of seeing rings around everybody at that point. And I was like, they're mushrooms. I was like, if you'd like, you can keep them, or I can throw them out. He was like, all right, just hang tight. I thought he was just going to be like, cool, we're going to throw these out, go pay the cover, you can go inside. Nope, their head of security came over and went, excuse me, Mr. Parker, is it? We need you to leave our property immediately. You brought illegal substances onto the grounds. I was like, illegal? Like, really? Yeah. I'm like, there's people doing coke and ecstasy around here, and I'm like,
decriminalized
it's
within a year.
Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't be such a bad person. Fucking Vegas, man.
and I was like, it's not like I'm gonna not buy drinks. Like, I'm drunk.
Right.
Yeah, I'm drunk and tripping on mushrooms. You know, so like, you know, let me get
more.
Yeah, let me get a couple of Guinnesses and, you know, maybe a couple of shots of tequila, and let's fucking keep this party rolling.
Yeah.
Nope. And then when I tried arguing with them, they're like, well, just so you know, the cops are downstairs in our parkway, or like in our parking area. Would you like to talk to them? And I was like, oh, you're just going to flex that card? I was like, pfft. I was like, can you at least like throw me off the property? Like, at least make it worth it?
Yeah,
Like,
make it cool.
I was like, can you guys like carry me and just be like, get the fuck out of here? And they're like, can you walk? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, no, we're not carrying you. And I was like, can we at least make this epic? Like, come on now. So
give me something.
The one bouncer told me that I was banned from life for ever coming back to the Wynn. And he kind of just said, he goes, look, man, he goes, what most people do is you can write a letter to the win and you can be like, hey, I fucked up. You know, next time I'll throw them out before I get in line, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can ask for them to take you off the list. But I was just like, no, I kind of like being banned from there for life.
It's kind of legendary.
Yeah.
Good. Like,
It's kind of cool if you're with
Put it
a
on a
big
resume.
group. Let's go to win. I can't, man. I'm banned.
Yeah.
Fuck did you do? I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
it.
totally.
Don't look up episode
that's
11
like-
on my podcast.
That's like I'm banned from Uber, and every time I tell someone that, they're like, "What did you fucking do?"
Yeah, wait. How the fuck do you get banned from Uber?
So I got banned from Uber. Listen, I want to tell a story about how I got caught doing cocaine in the back of an Uber or something bad.
So it was a hooker.
Some kind of hooker, anything, right? No, I was living in Dallas. I went to go visit Austin. I think I had a show there, and I fucking lost my credit card. I left it at the bar. I lost it somewhere. I don't know where it is. And my grandmother has a fucking emergency credit card that she lets me use if I'm in trouble. I put the Uber on her fucking card, and then she declined the sales. And she went through like the process of like, nope, that wasn't my grandson. He wouldn't do that. And I called her. I was like, hey, I'm banned from Uber. Like, did you decline the fucking like what I paid, you know, or what I used your card for? And she was like, no. she did, bro.
You need to just tell people you're doing blow, because that story's not. It's kind of gay.
Yeah, but like,
Your
listen.
grandmother's card.
It's hilarious.
No, you just say no. Just how you do it. Just how you do it. You just say, you go, I was doing blow off my grandmother's card in the back of an Uber.
And then they opened a window and the blow went everywhere. And then my driver got all fucked up.
There
And
you go. Come on.
Yeah.
Make it more legendary.
You're right. I'll be better.
we can rewrite that for you. We can make that.
You can edit that
Yeah.
somehow. Right?
Like me, like I don't do comedy. Like for me, it's just like, well, I got busted with mushrooms. I mean, but in the process leading up to it, it was good times, you know. But you, on the other hand, like you're a comic genius. Come on, man, you can.
Something better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the irony is what makes it so funny. It's like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. Like I'm a comedian. You just said I'm a comedian. I should have a great story. No, my grandmother just fucking declined the charges. And now I'm banned from Uber. Like,
We better be extra nice to Lyft now.
Can you,
I
you
am.
can use Lyft? Yeah. Uber, man. Some of those fucking drives are arseholes in Uber. I think Lyft is better than Uber. You know, like
I think it is.
there's some fucking weirdos.
Shouts
They
out to
worry about
Lyft.
the people in the car. Some of the fucking drivers are questionable.
Yeah.
For Uber,
Shouts out
I've
to
had
Lyft
motherfuckers
drivers.
saying prayers for me and shit, and I'm like, I just want to go to fucking Waffle House, dude.
You know why the one I hate the most is like if you're wearing headphones, you get into the Uber and you're like, hey, how's it going? You're obviously wearing your headphones for a reason. You're like, I'm not up for talking. And then it's like, hey, how you doing? What are you getting into? You're going to
Like,
the Waffle.
forcing you to talk.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, hey, you see this? Not in the mood. Thanks, man.
You always get that over fucking achiever as well. I once got one, I swear to God, it looked like a fucking UFO had landed in the parking lot. He got like lights underneath this shit and fucking Uber flashing. And I get in, he's got a fucking t-shirt on and a hat that's like, Happy Uber. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What music would you like? I'm like, I don't give a fuck, I'm drunk. Whatever.
Yeah.
What color would you like about it? I'm like, dude, just fucking take me home. You know, like, I mean, I understand he's trying to be professional, but fuck, man.
It's too far. Yeah.
The only reason I'm getting you is because you're fucking $3. You know,
Yeah.
I don't need the smoke and fucking mirror shit with it, you know.
And it's the only business where you get upset when they try to go above and beyond.
I know, innit?
Yeah. Any other business.
Isn't that
you're like,
weird,
"Oh,
actually?
Thanks, man. Thank you.
I should have been like, dude, you're kind of a fucking nerd, but well done.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is cool. You're trying.
Thanks for the water and the gum.
Yeah. And he did. He had a little fucking bag of, you know, sweets and if you're going to throw up, do it there. You know. I was
I
like,
always feel weird about that. Honestly, like if I'm drunk and I get into an Uber, I'm like, just roll the window down. I'm gonna stare at the lights. Please don't fucking talk to me. Like,
Yeah.
thanks for the water. And when I'm drunk, I'm like, here's a $5 for like your little pint of water or whatever. But I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking talk.
I don't want to fucking.
I don't want to hear about I don't want to hear about your fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, no offense. I bet you're a nice person. I don't fucking give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm
I really
not.
don't. Yeah.
I'm not going to see you again.
I'm
Yeah.
here for a service, and that service is you get me there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what they should do? They should have a fucking button for Uber or Lyft, and it goes, would you like your choice of mute? Like, if you hit fucking mute, you don't want to speak to him or her.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just a little check.
Or you say conversation. You fucking check.
That's a
what's
good
the
idea.
conversation?
Why don't they do that? Why don't they just put it on the
Because they're not as smart as me, motherfucker. But no, that's a good idea. It really is.
My personal favorite was the fact that like I wish I could do like a preferred driver for this, because it would be one of those that I would hire this woman to pick me up and drop me off every fucking time. The woman's fucking deaf. So it's not like she's trying to hold a conversation with me. And it was to the point that like I had her enough where like I was in the car. I was like, this is my third time like fucking rolling with this chick, that I like literally YouTubed how to say thank you in sign language, where I was like, I was getting out of the car and she was like, thank you. I was like, no, thank you.
And she was like, what the fuck?
Speaking my language.
That's so mean, dude.
Are you mocking me?
Dude, you know what? Have you ever seen these fucking, what cracks me up? And I'm not mocking the community, but like, you know when they have like the governor speaking or someone important and they have the fucking person next to him doing the sign language. Have you seen that shit? But it's funny how they're not just going, they're fucking acting it out as well. And they're like,
It's like part of the language.
like, what the fuck? Some of them are really funny, dude.
Like a good bullet.
Yeah, and they was like, what does that mean?
A good bullet on their resume is a background in improv.
Some of them are fucking hilarious, man. They really like act it out.
The one that always it doesn't weird me out. Like I just question it if it's just going too far. Is they have someone on the side of the stage, like doing the sign language for the song that the band's playing, and I'm like, I don't mean to be a dick, but I'm like, if you're deaf, why are you at
Why
a
are
con?
you here?
Yeah.
Like you
I'd
get this.
fuck with
That's
them.
not
I'd be
even a
like,
dick thing to say, really.
if you knew what drums sounded like, that's cool. You're doing fucking instruments that they've never heard.
Yeah.
Like
You
I
could
mean,
do the saxophone like for a guitar and shit.
I mean, I guess deaf people like drugs too, right? That's probably why they go to a concert.
I mean, you can probably feel the vibration, but
vibrations.
But I mean, with a real good sound system, you could play like Pink Floyd live and get the same experience.
Yeah.
And you're just tripping at home then.
It would kind of suck though to not hear it though.
Oh, it would
know?
Maybe like
suck. Yeah.
Fucking listening to it in Braille. Oh man, I bet that's so good.
like honestly, you could give that guy like the worst fucking seat ever, and he wouldn't give a shit.
No
like
idea.
here, I'll use this as an example. I remember this had to be 9 or 10 at the time, so this is 30 some years ago. They had Stevie Wonder when the Detroit Pistons were in the finals. They had him front fucking row. And I'm like,
What a waste of a ticket. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, you could put that homie in the fucking locker room and he's just, he don't give a fuck.
And he's in danger as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause especially if he's sat next to me, because I'm not fucking telling him anything. I'm like, I want to see this shit. Ball comes, boom. What the fuck? That shit just hit Stevie Wonder. I would totally fucking do that. Oh, shit.
Record.
You didn't fucking say anything. No, but I got it on fucking YouTube, bitch. I would totally do that.
Fucking hell. I was going to wrap up with a couple more questions really quick. I've always wondered this, and I never asked you it, just mostly because I was always like, let's keep drinking. How the fuck did you ever leave Manchester and come to Texas?
I came over a long time ago. I worked on a camp for people with disabilities. And I got a scholarship at a drama school. Mm-hmm. And then I went out, I did that and fucking got married and
Holy shit,
kind of
dude.
did it like that. It was weird how easy it was and how quick it happened, really. And then once I finished school, I was married and I was bartending for a bit. I was doing the flair bartending, the competition and shit like that. And then DJ'd for a little bit. Not like on your level, though. And then started doing comedy and shit. And like I say, that story with Chris, Kid from Kid and Play, I'd only been fucking doing comedy 6 months. Mm-hmm. So I'd probably MC'd twice. That was it, you know.
Oh, shit.
All of a sudden, within 6 months, I was fucking on the road like 48 weeks of the year.
Holy shit.
It was fucking insane, dude. It was awesome.
Look at this overachiever.
I know, right? How long have you been doing it? But it was just lucky. I just absolutely right place, right fucking time. You know, I wasn't anything special, but the people that I worked with, they were. So, you know, that really fucking helped. I was working with fucking legends that were showing me good shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was fucking key right there.
And that shit rubs off where it's like you see someone that just fucking crushes it and you start making notes of like
what it does is it gives you, when you see that, I used to see Billy D just fucking murder these crowds. And so anything less, I wasn't going to accept. I wanted to get to that, you know, like Billy's level, which was just fucking unbelievable, you know. And Kid, even fucking Chris, you know, like all of that, you want to get to be that good if that's what you see. You know, if I'd have worked with people that weren't as consistent, weren't as good, but they you know, told me, well, it's like, this is acceptable, then I probably wouldn't have pushed myself to get good. But because I was working with two of the best people in the fucking business, you know, then that's all I know. So I've got to fucking get like that to be doing what Billy's doing.
Yeah, you're the starting lineup on Man U, trying to raise the trying to stay on bar with everyone else and stand out even more.
You got to do it. And you know, luckily they helped me and they fucking showed me stuff and we were like best of friends for many years. We were fucking tight, you know. We were and we still are very good friends. But when you know we were touring together, yeah, we were like, you know. It was almost like the shows were secondary. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like, where are we going this week? I don't fucking know, dude. Just meet me at the airport. I'm fucking checking. And, you know, we never had to worry about shows being sold out. They were all sold out. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to fucking worry about that. You know, and we were going to get VIP to a fucking club or whatever after. Like, we didn't even think about it, plan it. We just knew it was going to be good. I just got really lucky, man. Yeah. Really fucking lucky.
I always loved that part when you came to town was the fact that we would get done with those shows and it'd be like, all right, we're done with the shows, sign your autographs, sell all your merch, you're done? Cool. Get in the fucking SUV, we're going downtown.
Yeah.
And then we would just party our fucking asses off.
Oh, yeah.
I was telling the story, I think last week or the week before, where it was one of those that we would go out at 11:30 at night. Bar closes at 2 a.m. We didn't leave the bar till 4:30 in the morning. Like the staff would be like, we're kicking everyone out. You guys can stay. You guys are fucking hilarious. And then like it'd be Steve telling stories. We'd be fucking binge drinking.
Yeah. Do you remember when that stripper, she was pregnant? I didn't know, and she squirted milk in my face, and everyone thought it was funny but me. It was fucking horrible. It went in my mouth and everything, dude. She was like, and everyone was watching, like they knew it was gonna happen. I'm like,
probably tastes better than an ass blister, though.
You are right. You are right.
You gonna follow up a Sprite for
Still
it?
didn't fucking taste good though. I'll tell you, it was just
a chaser.
Fucking glitter on my lip.
Dude, she hit him from a couple of feet away.
Dude,
she
yeah.
was like, boom.
Everyone was watching. I was like, oh, this is so fucking nasty.
Wait, so I've been trying to remember this, if you were there or not. Were you there when we had Steve-O performing for the anniversary party too?
No, I did hear about it though. Like him and John got into
Steve-O,
it.
Like Steve-O or like
yeah, Steve-O from
friends
Jackass. Yeah.
So this is Steve-O at his peak of like coming out of Jackass and stuff like that. The problem is that they had told my roommate at the time, Lee, and Lee was still working there. They told us that they were like, yeah, we hired Steve-O to do the anniversary party and Parker's going to DJ and whatnot. And we'll have Playboy TV there and whatnot. And I was like, wait, Steve-O's kind of a junkie. I was like, if he's not on heroin, he's on something. I go, that's not going to work well. And John tried selling it to us. He's like, oh, he's going to be fine. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's going to be a great time. Like, you should come out with us. I was like, no, I'm going to sit this one out. And he was like, why? I was like, because you're not going to be able to stand him. I was like, and you're going to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Sure shit. So those guys go out all fucking night long. The dude's dirty. He's grimy when he shows up, and he's just kind of like whatever. Yeah. At the time, we didn't know it, but it'd come out later that he was what's the CO2 cartridges? He was like Whippets or
Whippets.
So he was doing like a shit ton of Whippets. And like they did a behind the scenes at his house, and his house is just covered in these metal CO2 canisters that are like all over the fucking place. So he had a backpack full of them, and he's just ripping those the entire time, and we didn't know what he was tweaked out on. So anyway, at some point, he had rubbed Ferraro the wrong way, and John's like, fuck off. Like, I don't want to deal with you anymore. And they kind of just, like, bar time hit, and they were back at the strip club, or back at Silk, excuse me, and everyone just kind of ignored him and thinking he would, like, get in an Uber or get in a cab and, like, fuck off. Well, he ended up getting, like, real antsy and, like, jumped into a waitress's car. And the waitress ran back into the club and was like, he's not getting out of my car. Someone get him out of there. So John's drunk. And he goes out there and he's like, get the fuck out of her car. And Steve, like, tells him to fuck off and closes the door on him. Well, John proceeds to jump into this little fucking VW Bug, takes full mount, fucking just starts beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Steve-O fucking slips out, jumps out the fucking driver's side door, and beelines it down the street. So this dude's running down Lover's Lane, has no idea where the fuck he is. He's staying downtown, and he's on the north side of Milwaukee, trying to figure out where the fuck he's got to go. And so, like, the next day, John wakes up, and he was like, oh, fuck, I beat the shot. So John's partner,
fucking crazy.
so John's partner had to smooth everything out. So John's partner, Craig, you should meet at some point this weekend if you haven't already.
I met him, yeah. We stayed at his house last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he goes downtown to the Fister to go meet up with Steve-O, and Steve-O's there having breakfast, and Craig's just like, oh, I got his meal. And he's like, do you want something to drink, whatever? And he's like, hey, I heard about the incident, so on and so forth. Because Steve-O had said, he's like, I'm not doing this fucking party. You guys can fuck off. Like, I'm already paid, so eat a dick. So Craig negotiated with him, and I think they milked him for like, Steve-O milked Silk for another $15K to get him to come back and do the show.
Ridiculous.
And the rest of, so that night now is the party, and the entire night, John had to keep a wire in his ear. So at any time Steve-O and him were like in proximity of one another, it would be one of those where it was like, John, Steve-O's on the move to your office. You need to get the fuck out of your office. And you would just, like, you'd be downstairs doing something, and you'd see Ferraro go running by you, like into the comedy club or some shit like that.
You know what's crazy about that is, like, I know, like, John had his fucking moments. He was great. But he's also the type of guy that the next day you're like, man, we got fucked up. We're stupid. We're cool, right? And he'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. And then you'd be fine. You know what I mean? But, like, it had to have been Steve-O that was the dick with that. Because I know John. Like, John, you know, he's fucking crazy. But he's also like, man, fucking, it was Friday.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't need to carry it on.
If I had $10 for every time that Ferraro and I have beaten the shit out of each other, I'd have $10,000 in the bank.
Dude, he was fucking hilarious, man. He did not give a fuck sometimes.
I've been trying to popularize the phrase, if I had a Bitcoin for every time. Like, everyone says, if I had a nickel. No. If I had a Bitcoin for every time.
He's trying to have a fucking t-shirt, and that's one of his gimmicks. And I'm like, it's not funny.
I told you that? I didn't even know I told you that.
Yeah.
I gotta stop drinking with you.
That's gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. You're two in, maybe about to be three in.
Yeah.
3 deep in the podcast alone.
And we did 2 shots. Yeah. Before we got here.
Should you guys want to do a shot? I have whiskey and I have scotch. I have this Japanese whiskey.
I'm not gonna say no.
I don't want to do a shot.
You don't want to do a shot?
No.
Okay, no, it's fine then.
Because I don't know what he's got. I don't even know what I've fucking got to go back there for. So.
Are they
know what I mean?
They're gonna make you day drink.
No, I don't know what it is. He said something
arms.
the other day about some. I can't remember what the fuck he said.
Did your pants come in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we still have to record that shit too.
All
right, no worries. All right. Well, listen, we'll get you. Yeah, we're getting out. Yeah, I gotta get you guys back out there.
I hate that we have to go, but this was fucking cool, dude. Next time we're up here, we need to do this again.
Me.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is, you guys want to come and hang out, like if you're off tour and shit like that. Just get a hold of me. I'll take the weekend off. We'll go hang out.
You gotta come to
Ditto
Vegas
if you're in
July.
Texas.
Oh, that's right. So Callie and I are gonna look at tickets.
I'm serious, dude. Come out to Vegas for that.
So I got to hit up Matthias from Jägermeister, and like I said, I might do a couple of dates and play out and DJ out there. And I just
yeah, dude.
And then so the same week is International Fight Week, so that's McGregor versus Poirier. I don't know if we'll be able to get tickets.
They're fighting again?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Tickets went on sale and they sold out in like 10 seconds.
How long ago was this announced?
So the fight was announced, I think, a month ago.
I'll tell you this:
Oh,
if McGregor does not fucking win, he needs to quit.
No, he's not going to quit. I mean, he can still make money, and that's the thing.
He got beat by Poirier, right? So
yeah.
Their third fight.
Yeah, he lost in the second round, but he beat Poirier emphatically when they were 145.
See, that's the thing. He fucks around with his weight too much, man. I watched him in that Nate Diaz fight, the second one.
Yeah.
I watched that again the other day on YouTube, and it was interesting. Yeah, I mean, McGregor won the fight on points. Motherfucker, he got tired. He gets tired. When he gets tired, you see it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
He took
It's
he took the third and fourth round off.
Yeah, he just the first. I tell you what, the first 2 rounds, he was fucking methodical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like he was just a different fucking level, and you're like, God damn. But then, once he got fucking tired, he hung on.
Yeah.
and he won it, and he did win it. But those first 2 rounds, he looked fucking phenomenal. But then once he started getting tired, and fucking Diaz is a badass. He don't look like a badass.
No.
But he can fucking take a punch like so well.
And that's the thing. You're not going to knock Diaz out.
No,
I think
fucked. Yeah,
when McGregor was hitting him with hard shots and realized he wasn't putting him down,
Yeah.
he was tired. So he took 2 rounds off.
Yeah.
I remember that fight really well. He took 2 rounds off, and then in the 5th round was really when he put a stamp on everything.
Yeah, it was a good fight. You could tell that I think that was one that he actually fucking took serious. I know they take them all seriously, but that one, it was. I think he realized I gotta fucking beat him.
Yeah.
If he beats me twice, my legacy's shit.
Yeah.
I have to be the fucking champion and beat him on this next one.
I think they're going to do that one again eventually. I think they're going to instead.
They have to. Man.
They
That'd
did
be
that.
fucking great.
They did those 2 fights at 170. I think they'll do them again at 155. And I think doing it at 155, the advantage is to McGregor.
Absolutely.
And I think he wins that fight. But I want to see him fight Poirier again and see how he looks, because I thought he looked flat-footed. He looked tired. He looked worn down. The other side of that too is that when it comes to McGregor, I think he needs to let his coaches lead his camp.
Yeah.
That this last camp they did, he was the one that put it together and he was running everything. I think you need someone that's on your
That
ass.
needs to tell you shit and know
Yeah.
the shit. Yeah.
Instead-
Because he's got to fight this guy different. I mean, he was saying, the calf, the kicks on his calf muscle on the back of his leg. He was, he was like, dude, he said, I fucking couldn't feel my leg after,
that muscle seizes up.
Yeah.
and it's fucking painful.
So he's got to kind of fucking change everything to adapt to that.
Those are hard. Those are hard to read because they're so low. Like
Yeah.
from a Muay Thai sense, if you see someone kick and you see it's low, you know it's either going to the leg or it's going to the body. So you
Right.
can lift the leg up to try and check it, or you bring your
Yeah.
arm down to try and cover for the body. But I mean, there's guys that are like sneaky, like Wonderboy Thompson, where he'll throw a question mark kick. He'll look like he'll set you up, where he keeps going leg, and then he stops and he just goes right up the side of your body.
Just wallop. Yeah.
Right on the side of the neck. But yeah, those calf kicks are so hard to see because they're so fucking low.
Yeah.
And they're hard to defend. And even if it doesn't hit the calf, if it hits the ankle, that shit fucking
Still gonna
hurts.
fucking hurt.
It
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts so fucking bad.
It will be interesting to see like how he overcomes that if he can. What his strategy will be for that. I think it could be a good fight.
Yeah.
But I also think that, and I was a fan of McGregor. I really was. But I think he's on the downside of up now. He's still a badass.
He's still a billionaire.
Yeah.
At the end
Yeah,
of the day.
that's what I was
But-
gonna say. He doesn't seem to care anyways. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
he-
drink my whiskey, bitches.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
But he's got to win big. He's got to do a couple of fucking big ass wins against people that are fucking worth something.
respect
Not
the
people on the
fights.
way out or not people that are on that. No, man, knock a badass motherfucker out, and then, you're back.
Yeah.
I respect the fact that like taking Poirier the fucking second or maybe first in the world, right? In terms of that weight class.
He was the number 1 contender for the title at the time.
Is he gonna fight for the title, or is
No,
he gonna
so
keep
that's-
fighting McGregor?
so that's gonna be,
which is also respectable.
That's going to be Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. They're going to be fighting for the
Yeah.
155 title. So there was an option that Poirier had. He could either fight for the belt, and I think he would have fought Chandler, or either the winner of the Chandler Oliveira fight, or he would have fought one of those 2 guys for the title, or he had the option to fight McGregor, and he took the option to fight McGregor to
That's
make money.
fucking cool. You know what I mean? And that's what I respect about McGregor too. He's like you said, he's on his way out, but he's still fighting Mayweather in boxing, a totally different sport.
Oh, he ain't scared.
He's fighting.
He ain't scared.
He'll take a fight. I mean, anybody who was afraid of their legacy wouldn't take another Poirier fight,
Right.
Because that dude's still at the top of his fucking.
Well, the tough part for
But
McGregor,
he still takes it.
for the tough part about McGregor is the fact that he fought the Mayweather fight, and then he fought Diaz, and then he took a bunch of time off. And it's not like the UFC were like, hey, you're gonna get a tune-up fight. They gave him Cowboy Cerrone, who at the time was just fucking guys up, and he made him look like he didn't belong in the top 5 whatsoever. And then he had another year off again because of COVID and shit like that. And then you come out and your first fucking fight is you're gonna fight the number 1 contender for the title.
Yeah,
like that's.
He shouldn't have taken that.
Well,
it's kind of cool that he did.
But
right?
I mean, that's the thing is that he's not trying to fight anyone below him. He's literally just he's aiming at the top 1% of whether it's the 55 or 70 division, and just going, let's see what fucking happens.
yeah.
So I mean, kudos to him for even having the balls, because a
That's
lot
what
of
I meant.
a lot of
Yeah,
guys, a lot of guys will duck those fights, and they'll just be like,
Floyd Mayweather.
yeah.
Fucking last 15 fights he fucking had was a dodge.
Easy,
Motherfucker, dude.
He's one of the hard. See, in
Retirement
boxing,
fights.
he's the hardest guy to fucking hit, and then he's supposed to be
He's
fighting.
the hardest guy to get a fight with as well.
Sugar Shane Mosley was his last really good fight, and then everything after that was.
Yeah.
I'm done. I just want to make.
Yeah, I mean, defensive. You know what a lot of people never fucking realize about Floyd. Everyone said, he's a defensive boxer. Right, we get it. And he was fucking great at it. He also had one hell of a fucking chin. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like he never got hit. There were fucking times that he got racked. And this motherfucker didn't even phase him. Yeah. And I think a lot of people didn't understand that like, if you're a boxer, you're going to get fucking hit. And there's a lot of fights that he get walloped, but he just had a great fucking chin. And boom, and then he'd defend on it. And like, a lot of people don't understand that he could take a fucking punch, man. Yeah. The only time I saw him get, like, rocked bad was that fucking Argentinian Madonna. Fuck, I can't remember his name.
I should have pulled this up.
But it was at the end of... It was like end of 7th round or something. This fucking dude smacks him, and the bell goes, and his leg, like you see fucking Mayweather's leg, like go this way, and he should have gone that way. You're like, oh fuck, man, he just like got through on him. But he still ended up winning the fucking fight. But Mayweather had a fucking great chin, and
He
nobody.
Canelo Alvarez, right? It was like his second to last fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy. We all thought he was going to be the best fighter in history. He still got beat,
Well,
Maidana, the Argentinian Marcus.
Maidana.
That was.
I think he fought him twice. Didn't
Yeah, he did.
And then on the first one is where he got fucking clocked. I'm not sure if it was the 7th, but it was around then. It was right at the end of the fucking bell, and he got hit, and you saw that he was hurt. But they both had their hands down, but you saw his leg go that way, and I was like, "Fuck me!" I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, his
but
leg
then
stiffened up.
Yeah, after that he was fine. But that Argentinian guy, he was a fucking hard bastard, man. Like,
you look at who he fought. He fought Cotto. He fought Alvarez before that. He fought Mosley. Like, he's got a who's who. He fought he fought De La Hoya on Cinco de Mayo. I remember that one, dude. Like, who the fuck? And like, I think he came out with a sombrero and shit like that. It's just, that shit was hilarious. But yeah, dude, he's fought everybody, man. God damn. He's supposed to be fighting not Jake Paul. I think Logan Paul is the other one. So I don't even know if he still trains at our gym or not, because he didn't train at our gym for this fight. He just had guys come in and work with him. Ben Askren's fighting Jake Paul tonight, and I think Logan Paul is supposed to be fighting Mayweather, but I don't know when the hell that fight's supposed to happen.
maybe, yeah. I mean, honestly, if I were Mayweather, I'd be like, nah, fuck it, I'm done, dude.
50 is such a nice even number. Just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and what's he got to prove, man?
Well, he went over. That was the weird thing too. He went over to Japan into an MMA match, but it was like no kicking, and then like he fought a kickboxer who was insanely tough, and he was just like, yeah, you can't kick or anything like that. and it was supposed to be like an MMA fight,
Right.
and he knocked him out in like the second round and shit like
You
that.
can't. I don't know. I mean,
Ask him
he's
to play a different sport. Yeah.
he's getting older. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's fucking bored. Maybe
I mean, here's the
he's
thing,
getting-
man. If someone's paying you, fuck it. And the amount of money they pay him to show up, there was a point where he was the highest paid athlete for like I think 4 or 5 years in a row.
By like 600%.
Yeah.
Like second place was
But
like
here's
Tiger
the thing,
Woods.
though. Here's
Yeah,
the
Tiger
thing, though.
and
Pennies compared.
Tiger Woods is making like $100 million a year,
Yeah.
and Mayweather is making 3 times his money.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though, right? To have that 50-0 record in boxing, that's been around so fucking long, and there's so many greats and so many fucking stories, and like, and to be the only motherfucker to do that, to walk away from that, and you risk it now as you're on your way out.
Yeah,
51? Why?
Why 50 fucking
Don't
one?
do
Walk
it. Don't
away.
do it. You
dude.
had 50 and 0.
Yeah.
Do you know how sexy 50 and 0 sounds? Why would you make it 50 and 1?
Yeah.
Like,
It fucks it all up.
yeah.
You know.
The amount of money it would take. I mean, that's
You're
$100
fucking
billion.
stupid if you're gonna. Yeah, I would be like,
Like-
if they told me, if they said, Steve, you're 50 and 0, we'll give you 10 million to fight a retard with one arm, right? I'd still go no. Why? In case he's got fucking retard strength and he beats me up or knocks me the fuck out, whatever, dude. I want to keep my record, man. He's blind. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing it. No, 50 and fucking 0 in boxing.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Call it a day.
Nobody should. Yeah, he's.
Learn how to read.
Maybe that's what it is. Dude.
he's like, you don't want to take that 50 challenge, or he's like, I'll give you $250,000 if you can read one page of a Harry Potter book. That was the most cold-blooded shit.
50 Cent, right? It was Curtis Jackson that said that. That's so ruthless.
That was the most cold-blooded. You take all that money. He's like, I'll give you $250,000 if you can read one page of a Harry Potter book. Oh, god damn. Listen, I'm gonna wrap this up so you guys can get back out
Yes, sir.
and go hang out out in Oconomowoc. Listen, folks, for those of you that are watching this live, a couple of things was, again, you can catch Matt and you can catch Steve tonight out at the Hideaway out in Oconomowoc.
Please come
Show is at 8:00. Also, if you're not able to catch that and you're trying to catch the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight, you can do that tonight at Uncle Buck's. For their viewing party will be held in the Red Star. $10 cover. Seating is limited, so first come, first serve. Show up early. They'll have Miller and White Claw bucket deals all night long. Preferred seating with any bottle deals. So once again, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. Next week we push DJ Erich from tomorrow to next week Sunday, and we're gonna have him on board. And then I think I convinced Ferraro and Lee to do a podcast together.
Oh, no
for,
shit.
for May. And Ferraro was just like his hand, he's holding back on agreeing to it. And I was like, look, dude, I was like, you've already been canceled. I was like, so fuck it, you got nothing else left to lose. So once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in to the Zerocool Podcast. Like, subscribe. Once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Mahalo.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That was
good, man.